When genuine affection runs deepest, the one carrying it often steps furthest away, and the reason reveals everything about real connection. Most individuals miss this paradox completely. They interpret withdrawal as indifference, silence as abandonment, space as the end of something precious. Yet here's what psychology shows us. The person whose feelings burn brightest frequently becomes the quietest presence in your world. They stop initiating conversations. Their calls disappear. They act detached while every heartbeat whispers only your name internally. So what drives this contradiction? Why does authentic emotion create distance instead of closeness? Stay with this, because understanding requires reflection. This isn't merely information. It's an exploration of sentiments people experience daily but rarely articulate properly. 1. Overwhelming intensity forces retreat. When someone carries true affection for you, it transcends casual attraction. It surpasses fleeting infatuation. It becomes something that challenges their entire reality. They begin questioning, what happens if I lose this person? What if these feelings aren't mutual? What if my emotions become overwhelming for them? Powerful emotions expose vulnerability, and vulnerability terrifies those whose hearts hold too much. Rather than revealing themselves, they withdraw. Not from lack of caring, but from carrying excessive amounts of it without knowing how to manage the weight. Distance becomes armor when feelings grow too intense to contain. Separation serves as protection. They remain soundless, yet internally they're calling for you constantly. 2. Protection motivates their withdrawal. Certain individuals care for you so profoundly they handle your emotions like fragile treasures. Previous pain taught them about empty words, superficial attention, shattered promises. When they observe you, your authenticity, your gentleness, your openness, one fear dominates. What if I cause unintentional harm? So they maintain boundaries, not through apathy, but through reverence. This represents someone thinking, silent devotion beats loud affection that eventually destroys. Quietness becomes their protective mechanism, and while you might interpret it as carelessness, actually they're being extraordinarily careful. 3. Love illuminates hidden inadequacies. Affection reveals aspects we conceal from others. Someone loving you genuinely might feel insufficient, professionally, financially, emotionally, personally. They observe you and conclude, this person deserves superior to what I offer. They never vocalize this. They never demonstrate it. Yet internally, this conviction consumes them. Connection magnifies their perceived flaws, and instead of confronting these openly beside you, they retreat to wage private wars you'll never witness. They desire proximity, but self-doubt restrains them. 4. Uncertainty about reciprocation creates distance. Among the strongest reasons for withdrawal, they're unsure of their position in your existence. Sometimes you signal interest, but they misinterpret it. Sometimes you demonstrate care, yet they question its authenticity. Sometimes you want them closer, but your quietness registers as rejection. So they reason, I refuse to be the sole person investing effort. I won't appear desperate. I won't impose on their life. They step aside silently, believing that genuine mutual interest would prompt you to pursue them, to notice, to initiate contact. Their withdrawal becomes measurement, not of devotion, but of mutual attraction. 5. Pure affection respects freedom. People whose emotions originate from authentic places avoid possessiveness. They resist trapping you. They refuse control. They reject binding you unnecessarily. They prioritize your liberty over your companionship. They want your growth, exploration, accomplishments, self-discovery, complete fulfillment. Their caring communicates, your happiness matters regardless of whether I'm part of it. This variety of emotion is extraordinary, and because it's genuine, it never demands. never suffocates, never pursues desperately. It allows fate to determine outcomes. 6. Internal healing requires temporary absence. People harbor invisible trauma. Sometimes they're recovering from previous betrayals, childhood wounds, failed partnerships, family difficulties, monetary hardships, psychological pressure, setbacks that damaged their self-assurance. They resist showing you their brokenness. They avoid dragging their struggles into your world. They refuse making their suffering your responsibility. So they create distance, not from diminished affection, but from protecting you against turmoil they're still navigating. This separation is provisional, a necessary pause while they reconstruct themselves. 7. Distance represents preparation time. This truth gets overlooked frequently. Sometimes withdrawal means readying oneself. When someone genuinely cares, they want entering your life properly, emotionally stable, mentally clear, financially secure, psychologically prepared. They refuse arriving half-ready. They resist showing up unprepared. They avoid offering relationships filled with complications. So they step back to organize their existence, advance their professional life, stabilize their mindset, achieve lucidity, grow stronger, not for public approval, exclusively for you. Today's distance enables tomorrow's improved arrival. 8. They believe absence serves you better. Sometimes people convince themselves they're disrupting your peace. They observe your progress and think, perhaps my involvement only adds complexity. So they depart quietly, hoping their non-presence grants you tranquility. This hurts tremendously, yet stems from profound selflessness. Only genuine affection enables such sacrifice. 9. Testing connection authenticity. Real bonds aren't constructed on mere convenience, so they evaluate the relationship silently. If I stop communicating, will they register my absence? If I pull away, will concern arise? If I go quiet, will they question why? If I create space, will they bridge it? This isn't game playing. This represents fear of one-sided investment, fear of attaching to someone feeling differently, fear of giving everything while receiving nothing. Their distance poses a question. Do your feelings match mine? 10. Affection triggers excessive analysis. Nobody overthinks strangers. They overthink individuals who hold significance. When someone loves deeply, their thoughts become emotional battlegrounds. What if my words come out wrong? What if I become annoying? What if boredom sets in? What if I'm not missed? What if I lose them before truly having them? Fearing loss before possession makes them analyze every action, and excessive analysis frequently generates distance. But here's the concealed reality. Someone distancing themselves through genuine emotion never erases you. They contemplate you privately, worry for you secretly, hope for you wordlessly, care without displaying, long for you without mentioning, observe you without interference, await you without expectations. Their separation isn't disappearance, it's invisible presence. You might not witness their devotion, but you'll sense it in how their energy remains long after communication ceases. 11. Recognizing distance as disguised affection. Signs exist, subtle yet unmistakable. They still monitor your updates discreetly. They appear active when you're active. They retain minor details. They never speak poorly of you. They experience quiet jealousy. They resurface whenever you need assistance. They vanish only during personal struggles. They avoid you precisely because caring runs too deep. Your words still impact them profoundly. Their expression still softens hearing your name. Distance doesn't destroy authentic emotion. Distance reveals it. 12. Your next move if feelings are mutual. Don't mirror their silence just because they've gone quiet. Sometimes one message from you dissolves all their uncertainties. Sometimes one conversation restores everything. Sometimes one caring gesture confirms they're not isolated in this. If you want them, communicate it. If you miss them, reach out. If you care, demonstrate it. Affection perishes not from people ceasing to feel, but from waiting too long wordlessly. 13. If their feelings remain unclear, remember this: someone who distances themselves, yet never completely releases you, feels deeply. Someone who disappears yet consistently returns feels deeply. Someone who stays silent yet continues watching feels deeply. Someone who remains apart yet safeguards you emotionally loves more profoundly than language can capture. 14. Closing truth. So when someone maintains distance yet their expression tells different stories, comprehend this: they're not escaping you. They're escaping their anxieties. They're fighting between emotion and logic. They're selecting silence because internal noise overwhelms them. They're choosing separation because their feelings run too powerfully. They're choosing space because your significance runs too deeply. And sometimes the individual positioned farthest from you holds the heart positioned closest to you. This is psychology wisdom. If these insights resonated, please hit that like button and subscribe to Psychology Wisdom so you never miss revelations that could transform your perspective on human connection. What's one sign you've noticed when someone cared deeply but kept their distance? Share below.